Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to our YouTube channel once again. And it is my hope and prayer that this video is actually going to find you guys in good health. Personally, I am fine. Kisumu is also fantastic. Maybe you could let me know where you're watching the video from, the county or the country, in case you are out of the republic. Ladies and gentlemen, William Ruto, the President of the Republic of Kenya, today chaired Kenya Kwanza parliamentary group meeting at State House in Nairobi. During that meeting, Kenya Kwanza nominated 7 individuals who will be facing off with Raila Odinga's team during the bipartisan talks in parliament. And I've observed the reaction very keenly from Azimio. And it seems Azimio really don't understand what William Ruto is trying to achieve. And I've also taken my time and gone through the team which William Ruto has nominated. I can tell you, this is one of the most risky political moves ever pulled by William Samoei Arap Ruto. So I want us to do a critical analysis of this particular team. Before we do that, for those who are watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support, because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. And as usual, for those who want to support the channel through M-Pesa support, the numbers on the screens are free. You can always use them. Now, let us get back to the issues. And I want to begin this video by looking at two things. I want to look at the team, just an overview of this particular team, because most Kenyans don't know most of these guys. And because they don't know most of these guys, they assume that Ruto has given Raila Odinga team a very weak team. Then after looking at the team, I also want to look at the strategy which William Ruto is using or has used to arrive at this particular team. Now, let us begin by looking at this team. On top of that list is Kakamega Senator Boni Halwale. We all know Boni Halwale, an experienced politician, and Boni Halwale is William Ruto's blue eye guy in Western Kenya. So the fact that Boni Halwale is the face of William Ruto's politics in Western Kenya tells you that Ruto is keen on this thing. Boni Halwale has actually emerged in Kenya Kwanza as one of the new moderates. You know, Boni Halwale has always been radical, but he's been one of the moderates. The other day you saw Boni Halwale taking on government over the sale of Nzoia sugar. Kenya Kwanza are silent. So Boni Halwale has been one of the moderates. In fact, he's one of the few leaders from Kenya Kwanza who called for talks between Ruto and Raila. And of course, Boni Halwale is not a pushover. He can always stick to his guns. So I think his nomination there is significant. The second person who has been nominated here, and this is why I'm saying William Ruto probably knows what he's doing, is a guy called George Murugara. George Murugara is the member of parliament for Tharaka Nithi. Currently in parliament, George Murugara is the chair of the JLAC committee. JLAC committee is one of the most powerful committees in the House. For example, Azimio could not allow Tom Ojianda to serve in the JLAC committee because they suspected that he was not with them. Any member in this committee is in that committee because they are supposed to serve the interest of their parties. It's actually the chairperson. And for those who follow politics of the country, this is one of the guys who has been pushing very strongly for the creation of the office of the official opposition, if you ask me. So that is Murugara. That's why he's there. So from his appointment, I think I can gauge where Ruto is headed. Ruto is going to push for the creation of the office of the official opposition. Then there is Aden Keynan, the Aldas member of parliament. This is a gentleman who has been elected or re-elected 5 times. as a member of parliament. In parliament today, he's the longest serving member of parliament. I think he joined parliament at a very young age, and nowadays he's old there, so he's seen it all in parliament. He was elected on Jubilee ticket. So the question I keep on asking myself, and that's the biggest question Azimio is asking, one of the demands they are putting is party hopping. And why would Ruto go for a Jubilee guy who crossed over and appoint him to negotiate with Azimio? For me, I tend to think that he wants someone who has a soft spot for Uhuru Kenyatta and probably for Azimio to represent them in the talks. I could be wrong. Someone is saying maybe he's not serious, so he doesn't want those discussions to go on. So probably that's that. Then, if you leave that, number 4, the 4th person who has been appointed here is called Lydia Haika, the Taita Taveta women representative. She was elected in an ODM-dominated county in 2017. Again, she was re-elected on UDA. If you've been studying her politics of late, this is the only person in the country who has declared her interest of becoming a governor. So William Ruto is actually grooming this lady to become the next governor for Taita Taveta. Probably she's being given this platform to advance her politics. Remember, Ruto normally makes certain decisions early. Then, number 5 is Hilary Segei, the senator for Bomet. Hilary Segei is an advocate of the High Court. He's been practicing for the last 15 years. And the interesting part is that he is a partner of SMS. One of his law partners is Kipchumba Murkomen. Remember, the other gentleman is a permanent secretary, Ministry of Foreign Affairs. The gentleman who recently also suggested that he doesn't see any need of raising a lot of concerns about the issues which Raila Odinga was raising. So for me, I tend to think this is the gentleman who is going to represent the interest of William Ruto in this particular team. Ruto will be relaying information to Kipchumba Murkomen. Then in the evening, they'll be going to SMS law firm, and then they'll be discussing. This team has also been the legal advisor for William Ruto for a very long time. So the entry of Hilary Segei here, for me, is also very, very important. At number 6 is Mwengi Mutuse. On this, I don't want to lie. This is a guy who was the chief of staff for Alfred Mutua. He contested in Ukambani and he won, probably to take care of other coalition partners, because if you look at it, this list, I don't see the representation from ANC party, and I also don't see the representation from Ford Kenya. Maybe because they were given the 2 positions for chief cabinet secretary and Ford Kenya, and the speaker, they are sorted. I don't see, but I want to assume this one here represents the interest of the other coalition parties. And then there is Esther Ekunyori, one of the youngest senators we have in the country. You know, for you to be nominated as a senator at a very young age, as of this lady, is not easy. This lady used to be an aide to William Ruto. Yeah. Then she founded Women for Ruto, campaigned for Ruto in Kisii, and that's how she got nominated. Again, if you look at it, being a former aide to Ruto, it means she's one who will understand how to reach out to Ruto. So for those who say that this team is a pushover, I don't know, because the fact is Azimio went for radicals. Ruto has not gone for radicals. But what is William Ruto's strategy? That is the biggest question. For me, if you ask me, William Ruto's strategy is simple. Number one, the first strategy is leave out the hardliners out of this discussion. Because remember, initially what happened was that Kenya Kwanza was supposed to name their team. Then Azimio, they postponed it to today. Then Azimio named their team last week. Azimio went for the radicals because that was what their supporters really wanted. So for me, William Ruto has not gone for the radicals. He has gone for the moderates. If you had both radicals, this side and this side, then it would mean that no discussions were actually going to go on. So he has decided, I'm leaving out the radicals. That is what has happened. Then, by leaving out the radicals, what do you think William Ruto wants to achieve? Most Kenyans would have wanted a situation where a radical like Kimani Ichung'wah is fronted. This side you front Ole Kina. You front Aaron Cheruiyot. This side you front Edwin Sifuna. You front another radical here. That's the kind of discussion Kenyans wanted. And in fact, I'm surprised that Azimio are not seeing what Ruto is trying to do. And of course, you can't rule out the possibility that by having this team, Ruto wanted Azimio to discredit the team. Not knowing that in that team, there is Boni Alwale, then there is Hilary Sigei, a lawyer who will be keenly taking notes, and also the JLAC member, who will be responsible for submission of this report to Parliament if there will be need. So that's why they left out the headliners. The other important thing to note here for me, number two, is the omission of Mount Kenya from these talks. The fact is, out of this list, George Murugara, the Tharaka Member of Parliament, is the only one from the mountain. That is the only thing coming out. And who else is representing Mount Kenya? And this one is not just Mount Kenya. You know, Mount Kenya, we have their politics. Mount Kenya East, Mount Kenya West. Or you can say the Kikuyus and their brothers. Who is representing the interest of the Kikuyus here? If you are to have a Kikuyu here, it would mean you are going to have the discussion about one man, one vote, one shilling. That will only require some constitutional amendments, BBI. And of course, the fear is that that person would be reporting to Rigathi Gachagua, who in turn will frustrate the talks. Probably that's something which Ruto would not want. So for me, Ruto has done that to evade Mount Kenya politics. Because this team is supposed to have, apart from the parliamentarians, they are going to have experts. So our eyes should actually be trained on the experts who will be appointed to this team. Then why do you think this team is appearing to be weak? For me, that could also be strategy by Ruto. And that strategy is actually simple. Have a weak team. Let the weak team face a strong team. Let the weak team win. Let the strong team assume that they are powerful. They go into the talks with a lot of bravado. When the report is out, the weak team shall have won. So my warning to Azimio, simple. Please, don't discredit this particular team. Ruto is up to something. In my next video, I think I'm going to analyze. I'm going to analyze in my next video the statement by Azimio, why they have actually missed the point. Thank you guys, and may you have a good day. Bye-bye.